Hello and welcome. Today's topic is writing the introduction for the CSEC English A Paper 2 short story. Writing the short story can often be considered a challenge for some students. When markers receive your story, the first thing they will read is your introduction. Why not make it interesting? Today we will focus on how to write an engaging introduction that is exciting to read. Now let's read a sample. I've marked CSEC English A stories in the past, and while I can't tell you too much about that for legal reasons, I can tell you that we actually do see a lot of this. One sunny morning, I got out of bed and went to eat breakfast. When my mother walked into the room, she told me I looked tired. I packed my school bag and went to school. It was very hot. Wasn't that boring? After grade 2, you shouldn't be writing introductions like these anymore. So what makes a good introduction? It's pretty simple. It should be interesting and it should cause your readers to want to continue reading. Basically, you should captivate them, hook the reader. There are many ways to write an interesting introduction, but here are 4 of them. Conversation, description, action, and a proverb or saying. I'm going to show you how you can start a story with each one. I will not write the entire introduction, but I will write the first few lines so that you can see how different it is from our first boring example. First up, conversation. Patricia, what time did you go to bed? You look like a raccoon, my mother exclaimed as I walked into the kitchen. Here, drink this coffee quickly. You need lots of energy for your big day. Do you see how it's a little more interesting to read than one sunny day I went to school? Right? So, next up, description. This technique appeals to the senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. But you do not need to include every single one. You can decide to focus more on sight or taste or smell. It's up to you. You're the writer. I woke up to the sound of clanging pots and pans. I rolled out of bed and inserted my feet into my soft, fluffy slippers. The smell of my mother's strong coffee embraced me and led me straight to the kitchen. I poured myself a cup, took one sip, and instantly spat it out. Mom, you added salt instead of sugar. Also more exciting than one sunny day. Next, we have a proverb or saying, and I'm sure you've heard many of them at this point in your life, right? Here is a common one. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I reminded myself as I tried to get out of bed. It was my first day of community college, and I was filled with anxiety and anticipation. I was convinced that I'd be lonely and miserable. If you use Google to search for more proverbs, you will find lots more. And you will discover that you're actually familiar with many of them already. Next, action. Start with a bang. I bolted out of my front door and jumped into my brother's car. He sped off so quickly that he nearly hit my neighbor's dog. Slow down, bro, I screamed, but it was too late. So let's recap. To make your introductions more exciting, you can start with conversation, description, action, or a proverb or saying. Now I'm going to show you what the improved version of this boring introduction looks like. And I decided to go with conversation. Patricia, what time did you go to bed? You look like a raccoon, my mother exclaimed as I walked into the kitchen searching for breakfast. Good morning to you too, Mom. I've just been studying really hard, that's all, I replied. I ignored my roaring stomach, grabbed an apple, and rushed through the door. The sun instantly slapped me on the face, and I could just tell that it was going to be a rough day. So you don't just learn the literary devices to answer multiple choice questions in paper one. Use them in your writing. Make it exciting. I'm sure you'll agree that the second one is much better, right? Now it's time for you to have some fun. Look through your English assignments and find an introduction which you can improve. Spice it up with one of the 4 techniques. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post them below. Goodbye for now.